If you're a 2015 to 2017 Z06 Corvette owner and want to add some horsepower and more torque to your ride, then you better check out iNTECH's latest cold air intake for the 6.2 liter supercharged Vettes. Today, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to install. We'll begin the disassembly process by first removing the 4 screws that are securing the cooling duct. Now remove the cooling duct and save the screws. Next, remove the crankcase vent line by pressing in on the gray tab. Now lift off and set it to the side. Disconnect the mass airflow sensor from the wiring harness by first disengaging the lock, then pressing on the black center tab, and remove the wiring connector. With an 8mm socket or nut driver, loosen both band clamps on the intake tube and remove the intake tube assembly. Using a number 25 Torx bit, remove the 2 screws that secure the lid to the factory airbox. Then remove it. Now we can remove the factory air cleaner. Using a 10mm socket or nut driver, remove the 2 bolts holding the factory airbox to the inner fender well. Now you can remove the assembly. The next step is to remove the 3 grommets from the factory airbox assembly and install them on our iNTECH airbox. Remove the metal retainers and twist the grommets out of the sockets. Make note of the position of the locating grommet and reinstall it in the correct hole. Now press the grommets into the iNTECH housing and install the metal retainers. Now remove the mass airflow sensor from the factory lid and we'll install it into the iNTECH intake tube. Using a Phillips screwdriver, remove the 2 screws that hold the mass airflow sensor to the factory tube. Now you can carefully remove the mass airflow sensor. Now install the sensor into the new iNTECH tube assembly and secure it using the 2 screws provided in your kit. Don't forget to install the crankcase ventilation nipple. Simply thread the nipple into the port till it's hand tight. Then using a 13mm wrench, tighten an additional 1/4 turn. Install the silicone coupler and 1 of your band clamps to the throttle body. Use your thumb or fingers to help work the coupler over the throttle body opening, then tighten the clamp. We can now install the iNTECH airbox assembly to the fender using the 2 bolts that we removed earlier. Position and tighten the bolts. Next, we need to install our dry filter element to the intake tube. Simply press it on until you feel it stop. Position the filter into the airbox assembly and firmly press on the lip of the filter with your fingers. Soapy water applied to the seal can help the installation. Work your way around the filter until it's completely seated. Now rotate the iNTECH tube to align it with the throttle body and work the coupler over the tube opening with your fingers. Loosen and remove the retaining nut from our second band clamp. This will allow us to open it up and install it on our coupler. Next, reconnect the mass airflow sensor to the wiring harness. Push the connector in until it clicks. Don't forget to lock the connector by pressing the red tab inward. Now we need to reinstall the crankcase vent line on the new nipple. Do this by aligning the connector and nipple, then press down firmly till you hear a distinct click. Finally, we can reinstall the factory cooling duct and secure it with the screws that we removed in step 1. And that completes our installation of the iNTECH cold air intake on the 2015 to 2017 Z06 Corvette. Thanks for watching. For more great installation and how-to videos, visit our website at holley.com.